Okay, Laurie, well, our trip to the Northern Territory in Darwin has come to an end at this particular juncture. This is called the Three Ways. Why do we call it the Three Ways? Well, because basically the road splits up into three separate directions. If we have a look there, we've got Stewart Highway, which runs north and south of Central Australia, and Tennant Creek, which is going south, which is 25 miles this way. If we head further south, 500 kilometres, that will take us to Alice Springs. And then if we basically take another 400 kilometres south of Alice Springs and a right, we would go out to Ayers Rock, which is the pretty much, central South Australia. It's closer to South Australia than Central Australia. But where we are right here, we're in the northern part, or I should say the southern part of the Northern Territory, or the middle of it, getting towards the southern. And the three-way splits up. We directly behind you, we head to Mount Isa and then on to Townsville, which is where we live, and we'll be on our way back home. So if we go right, basically that'll take us to Darwin, and so the road split into three, and that way we have three choices. It's a multiple choice question, so either road will take you somewhere. But basically this road from Darwin down to Alice Springs and then finally on to South Australia is right through the centre of Australia. And as you can see, as you look around, it's completely dry and arid, although there's been a bit of rainfall here. But if you notice the red soil, if you want to pan around, Laurie, and just take a bit of a look, you'll see that it's very porous soil, and that's because the water just goes straight through. It simply can't contain, the soil is just too hard and it just turns to mud.
Nothing coming in any direction.
So we've got a truck coming from Queensland out through Mount Isa, and so he'll probably, it looks like this guy here will probably go to Darwin, and that's generally the trend of where the trucks go, is Darwin. And so he's come all the way from Queensland, and basically all the stuff in Darwin has to be shipped up by truck. And so prices in Darwin are very expensive, but this is a pretty pivotal spot here because of the, being the centre of Australia, and it's not every day that we get to visit this place, and it's kind of a moment where you want to just take time to pause and reflect on your trip, because, you've finished one leg and now it's back home. And so Laurie and I, after our little grammatical dialogue today earlier, we will now be heading home. And so our trip to Darwin, and that is at an end. And we had a really special time at Manaranka Springs, and I'm sure Laurie will be pleased to tell you guys at home all about that wonderful time. And there we have it. So basically, Laurie, I think it's probably...
no, I have a question.
Yeah, okay.
I want to know why I have choice number 1.
Yeah.
Choice number 2.
Yeah.
From which we have a big, oh wow.
Yeah.
I think I better get out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Choice number 3.
Yes.
Which is where the truck is going.
Yes. Which is Darwin.
However, what if I want to go this way?
You mean this way?
Why do I have no option?
Basically because you'll run into the desert, and there simply isn't a track there. Australia basically is 3/4 uninhabited, and as a result the road network through Central Australia is very limited, and that's why we only have 3 options through the centre.
So David, if I went out into the desert, would I find any wildlife?
You probably would, and lots of it. However, the government has not deemed putting a road direct through to Broome, which was, if we were to do that, just take a road and cut it through, the cost would be not worth it. It simply would be too expensive for what it does. The road network here suffices. Basically, for example, the rail system Only of this year, early this year, they decided to continue the rail system from Alice Springs up to Darwin. Now, why it took so long for them to actually do that is beyond me, but, you know, that's how things are done here.
So basically I can go anywhere I want to go as long as I don't go that way.
Laurie, you can go that way if you choose, but I won't be going with you, okay?
Okay.
Basically, you will run out of water and probably die out there if a snake doesn't get you first. And however keen I am, I simply do not want to follow you that way.
Now wait a minute. We had a discussion a few minutes ago.
We did.
And I said if I went anywhere,
Yes.
like some godforsaken ranch with dust and snakes,
Yes.
you said you'd follow me.
I did, Laurie, but there's a clause.
What if my ranch is out there?
There's a clause in that follow. Maybe
Yes.
you didn't read the fine print, and that is within reason. You know, you got to read the fine print, within reason, and that is not reasonable. I have just finished telling you that way there will basically, chances of you hitting a ranch out that way.
Davey, I think we were just photographing the ground for a minute there.
Okay, so we lose your interest, did we?
No, I'm spot on you right now.
Okay, the chances of you hitting a ranch out there is like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I think perhaps I ought to hitch a ride with you back to Townsville.
I think that would be a good suggestion, Laurie. A very safe choice.
And one full of Calypso lemon sorbet options.
You want more Calypso lemon sorbet options?
Yes.
Okay, well they are that way.
Then
And
here we
I
go.
reckon we should go that way. What do you reckon, Laurie?
I'll follow you home.
Alright, okay. So there's our car over there, our great reliable Holden V8 V6 Commodore.
Hang on.
That, basically...
Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's that little speck. I thought for a moment someone stole it and left us at the
Hey, Laurie,
ways.
how can you say that about my car?
3 ways.
3 ways.
With no options at all.
3 ways with no options at all. That's it, Laurie. You just got 3 ways and no options.
How are we going to wrap this up, David?
Laurie, I think we've probably said all that we can possibly say here, and I fear that we will probably lose our audience, and they will just go away in disgust. And we've bored them to tears as it is. We've tried to make a little monologue into a life sketch, and simply isn't the material there. Basically, north, south, and east.
And
I
east it'll be.
propose we go east.
Miles to go before we sleep.
Yeah, there's probably 1,500 kilometres that way, or 1,600 kilometres, and for you US folk, good for US folk out there, that is probably going to be somewhere around 1,000 miles.
We best get at it.
I reckon that would be pretty good, Laurie, if we're to get there by 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Okay, that's all, folks.
Okay, so what we need to do is to get in, sit down, and hang on for dear life as Uncle Dave takes us eastward.
As they say, adventure before dementia.
There you go. Where did you get